Introducing a breakthrough in cat litter from Arm & Hammer.
Arm & Hammer Clump and Seal is totally different than what I've used before. Even after 7 days, it was odor-free. There was some sort of sealing magic happening.
Only Clump and Seal forms a tight seal around odor and destroys it with unique Arm & Hammer odor eliminators and baking soda for a 7-day odor-free home guaranteed.
I've tried every product. This is really pretty remarkable.
New Clump and Seal cat litter. 7-day odor-free home guaranteed. Look on the package for $3 off.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Hart of Dixie After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Hart of Dixie After Show.
Here we go. Enjoy the music, ladies. All right, welcome back to AfterBuzz TV's Hart of Dixie. It's Season 3, Episode 12, Should Have Been a Cowboy. We know who's talking about that. But let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. I'm Whitney Lane, one of your hosts.
Hey everybody, it's Michelle Renee.
Hi everyone, Paige Sullivan.
And we have a special guest in the house.
I'm Brandi Burkhardt. I play Crickett on Hart of Dixie.
Yay! Yay! So glad to have you back. Lots of good stuff to talk about today. So we'll jump right in because it was lots of different storylines today. And we want to start off talking about Joel. Crazy Joel.
Yeah.
He's always a topic of conversation each week because we're like, he's growing on me as like a character, but still not as Zoe's boyfriend.
Right.
And this week he's trying to be like, write this book about a cowboy, and he has no idea what a real cowboy is.
Well, I mean, I think his obsession comes from the fact that he maybe sees the twinkle in Zoe's eye whenever she's talking about Wade or whenever she's around him. So I think it's maybe like a subconscious thing where he is like trying to. I know.
I'm like, Hart of Dixie music for life.
I thought we were just gonna leave it on the whole time. No, it's a good song.
I just think that Wade. I mean, what's his name? Joel is. You know, I think it's more to it than him just trying to write this story about a cowboy. I think he wants to be like Wade because he's trying to find out what is his appeal, why Zoe still maybe has a little bit of feelings for him.
And you guys, the character's name in his book was Wiley Kincaid. W.K. Wade Kinsella.
Oh, yeah.
Pull that out. I automatically, when he was talking about writing about a cowboy, I'm like, he's talking about Wade. Like, he wants to be like Wade.
Doesn't everybody want to be like Wade? I mean, I want to be wade. And
it's true. There's something about him, right? Just a simple life. He is who he is.
Is he who he is, though? I mean, he has an act that he puts on depending on who he's talking to and where he is.
It works for him.
It works for him, yeah. But I feel like girls used to be like, oh, wait, and like smack him. And now they're all like smitten with him. And I don't know if he got a job. You know, he's a respectable guy now. Yeah. I feel like once the Zoe thing kind of fell through, the ladies were like, oh, he's getting his stuff together. You know, he's doing things.
Well, I feel like he's maybe like the guy in the town that you love to hate. Like, I feel that all the women he slept with, they probably know they should hate him because he screwed them over, but at the same time they love him because he's so charismatic and like personable.
But Zoe did up his stock value. I mean,
definitely.
let's face it.
I think so. Yeah, I agree.
That's what it is. I mean, she's the one that pushed him to get the bar in the first place. That helped him. Rammer Jammer is Wade's bar, you know. Thanks, Zoe. Man, she's gonna want him back soon enough. Let's be honest here.
Soon enough. I think she already does.
She does. She's wanted him back the whole time.
Yeah, but like we always say, when you have like that epic love or like, you know, the big love that didn't work out the way you wanted it to, it's not like you just forget and stop feeling things for them. You just choose either to ignore them and move on or to address them. And I think right now she's very happy ignoring them with Joel.
Yeah.
And Joel is, I mean, for her, like we've said, he's just easy. It's easy to be with Joel. They're going to buy a house. He's going to write his book. He's going to pay for the renovations. I mean, easy as pie for her.
Yeah. But like, does she really want to live with him
in a house. Like, you want to buy a house with this guy.
I think this is how you're feeling, Whitney. Whitney's like,
big step.
That is a huge step. And she doesn't even seem that invested with him because it's comfortable.
I don't think she doesn't seem invested. She is we've seen her be a little bit afraid of commitment and settling down and like placing roots somewhere. And the fact that she's even willing to do this and hasn't freaked out yet.
Yet. I think she will.
But, it makes it seem like she's very comfortable in what she has. But comfortable isn't always the right thing. It's just kind of what's working at that time.
Yeah. I mean, because it was his idea to buy the house.
As opposed to rent.
Like, rent it. And he's like, well, it's for sale, so let's buy it. And she's like, oh, really? Wow.
Sure.
So, I don't know. I mean, I definitely agree. I think she's going to realize. Have a freak out soon.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's good, too, that Joel is making her recognize that she is part of the town because she was the fish out of water and now he is. So now she can be the one to feel like, hey, this is my town. I can stay here.
That's true.
Yeah. And that's going to be good for us for later.
Hopefully when Joel's back to New York.
Well, if he buys this house, I don't see them having a bad breakup, though. If they do break up and he goes back to New York, I see it being very much like Lynly and George, where it's a mutual agreement that maybe this doesn't work, and she'll end up with the house. Joel will, like, gift it to her. He's a big rich author.
That's so much to happen, though, in the... I mean, I guess there's,
we still have
many
like
episodes
10 episodes. 10-ish,
okay.
right?
Yeah, I guess so.
This is 12, 22?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot that
That's
can be
a
done.
lot of
Okay,
time.
there is. Okay, when you put it like that. Because I'm just like, they have to buy the house, maybe live in it for a few episodes. Wait, they still have to remodel it. Then they have to actually move into it. Then they have to have the breakup. Then
it's so funny how fast the story moves. Like, we shot these things before Christmas, and I'm like, what happened? And you said I could come in after the show or to watch the show with you guys. I'm like, no, I need to watch the show because I know what's happening like in the future.
Yeah,
so it's like my brain is in two places. Yeah,
she's got the goods. She knows what's
so there's
coming
a lot that can happen.
Plus, we see the moms coming to town. I feel like that always is going to change things around.
Is it just her mom, though?
Okay. For her birthday, it seems.
I like when her mom
I'll
comes.
save my predictions
and they
for
like
later.
speed, because at the beginning of this episode, they're like a month later, they kind of did like a fast forward type thing. Apparently, it had been a month from this episode to last episode, because George is like, it's been a month since I broke up with Lynly.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, wait, did they put that on the screen like 1 month later?
No, they said it. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's how we keep up with the time.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I would have been just thinking it was next month. I mean, next week or something.
So if we are jumping months or weeks, however much,
then next week the house could be finished and they could be like in it.
It could be.
I think
2 months later.
I think the house is never going to get finished.
Ooh.
I know it's a prediction, but I just
okay.
feel like, I don't know. I don't see them actually moving into this house together.
No. I don't think they will together, but I think the house will be there.
We'll see, yeah.
We will. But, I mean, his storyline was just kind of silly, following Wade around.
Well, let's talk about it, because, it's just, like, unreal.
But it's pretty great, because, men always try to outman each other. And that's such a fun thing to watch.
It is.
And especially because Joel really doesn't have a shot at it.
Yeah. I felt bad when somebody said, let the men do... Who said that to him? Like, let the men be men, and you do what you do. Oh, the
contractor.
The contractor. And I wanted to kind of be like, he's still a man, just... with different skills. He's just not as handy.
He's a New York man. He didn't grow up that way, where he knew how to, like, change the oil in a car.
But it's true.
Like
where you grew up, I think, defines the way you maybe see, like, a man and a woman. Like, I grew up in the Northeast. You guys grew up in the South. Yeah. I didn't have Southern belles or anything like that. So I wouldn't necessarily look at a writer and be like, oh, he's not handy. He can't do the things I need him to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely would.
I would agree. I say Joel needs to get in where he fits in. Like, I don't understand why he's trying to make himself something that he's not.
Because he cares so much about her. He does, I think.
He cares about her, but this episode, I think it was a more subconscious thing. Like, he's writing this book about a character who he wants to be, but doesn't know how to write him, which obviously because he doesn't know how to be the character. And so it's all about him trying to prove, I think, to himself that he is worthy of Zoe.
Yeah, because I think, we know what
you know. We all know what
I say it every week. Hello. But it's true. I mean, he showed off a different side. Got a little fight with what was his name?
Little
Zach.
Little Zach
was one little man, and Big Tom and Little Zach. That was hilarious.
I know.
I just can't. That literally, he was like on his back.
I love that he's so angry. He's so angry. He's so angry.
It reminded me of Elf when he's like, oh, he's an angry, like, elf or whatever it was. But he That was a cute scene. And I like the fact that he kind of got punched in the face and roughed up a little bit and was, like, proud of it.
Yeah. He needed that once in his life. He's probably never been in a fight.
Well, he said he never had. I'm like, I mean, obviously now he's not going to be fighting, but he was never a child. Like,
Yeah.
Wait, did you have fights?
Yeah, I know. Were you
didn't get
fighting
in a fight? I mean,
I've been in a fight before, yeah. I mean, when I was younger, like, you fight with your cousins.
Yeah, I was
and,
going to say
like,
my
your sister-
siblings.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you fight with your cousins and siblings when you're younger.
Right,
Like,
but I've
now
never
that
gotten
I'm-
into, like, a brawl with people.
now that
I mean,
now that I'm an
strikes me as
adult,
an only
no,
child,
I
though.
don't.
Yeah.
oh, yeah. I bet he was an only
And
child.
he probably hung out and, like, was creative.
He probably had a journal
Yeah.
and, you know,
For sure.
diaries. Yeah, definitely. He's from New York.
Oh, Joel.
I mean, some New Yorkers
So
probably
a lot
thought.
of New Yorkers are
they
like
stay
only
inside.
children.
And
that's
they
what the
stay
writers
inside all
are.
day.
Dude, it's too cold.
Too cold. You can't walk outside. There's
Yeah.
so many streets and taxis to hit you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
You don't have a yard because you live in like an apartment building. Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
it's weird. It's weird.
Okay, Southern girls.
Yeah. Well,
Don't knock it.
so I thought it was interesting we didn't see Vivian this episode. Because that kind of developed last week, you know?
Well, we know it's still developing.
They mention her a few times.
They're having sexual relations, apparently, according to what he was hinting at.
Yeah.
I missed
That he was
that.
going over to her house. I don't know. Have they, though?
Yes.
Really?
It's Wade. I mean, it's
Well, but I just
and if
don't
it's been a month,
know.
you think in the past month they haven't progressed
that's
from that
true,
one
that's
time where
true.
they tried.
No,
Good point.
I mean,
It's been a month.
It's
We
been a
forget
month.
this.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine you would go that long.
Yeah. Well, who knows? But that little boy, I mean, if he had anything to do with it, he's going to get in the way of that.
Yeah.
so.
Harley.
Our little State Farm boy.
Yeah, he was in
Michelle-
the State Farm commercial during the break.
Oh,
Really?
yeah, you noticed that.
Yeah,
That's so
he's
funny.
so cute.
I know we see a lot of Hart of Dixie people in commercials. It's very funny.
Totally.
Meatball is in like so many commercials.
I know.
Speaking of, we should get to that part of the show.
show.
So Elodie is engaged, and poor Annabeth. It's really sad. It's like, you know, I mean, we've already talked earlier today about like how I have 4 save the dates on my fridge, right? So all my friends from high school getting married. I'm not like sad about it, but at some point you're kind of like, wait a second, like what's happening? Am I falling behind?
You're like, what do
That's
I
how
send
she
out?
feels.
Yeah.
That's how she feels because she's been with Lavon for a year.
I get that, and especially it being the South, I feel like it's expected that you're getting married at that point. But this would be her second marriage. It's not like she is 27, all her friends are getting married, and she's sitting there like, oh, why not me? I mean, you had a husband, and now you guys are divorced, and...
But Patty Stanger says if it's a year, you need to call
Yeah,
it.
she does.
You need to
Millionaire
call it.
matchmaker, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you've already been through one marriage, shouldn't you know immediately what she said she did? It's just he doesn't. I feel like
doesn't.
it moves quicker,
Right.
more quickly, like after the first time. Like now it's like, okay, I know what I want out of someone, you know? So it's like 365 days. Lavon, he can't commit.
Yeah.
I mean, my question is, she said that he was the love of her life. So when you address that someone is the love of your life and then you break up with them, so you're just, like, what's worth? Like, staying in a relationship and not being married to the love of your life, or moving on and being in a relationship with someone else when you know that the love of your life is out there somewhere? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then she wasn't the love of his life. Like, what if they did wind up together? Would that be unsatisfying ultimately?
It would for me, I think.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm not the love of his life.
And
that I
then
feel
who is?
so much more. Lemon.
Lemon? You think Lemon is?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I definitely do. I think that's coming up at
But
some point.
I know the show, like, you can bounce back and forth as many times as you want in a relationship because that it's a small town. But I find that how is Lemon supposed to go from being with Lavon to not being with Lavon to AB being with Lavon to not being with Lavon? And that was already a thing for their friendship.
Right.
For Lemon to again be with Lavon knowing that he's the love of Annabeth's life, I don't think she would do that to AB.
I do, because she never told AB that he was the love of her life. She
life.
never said he wasn't. She did it because she was being a good friend to her, ultimately.
And there's more life to be had. So hopefully AB will meet somebody who's really the love of her
Right.
life. And then Lavon can go take a hike.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if not, that sucks so hard for her.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to stink.
That's like your life is basically over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you will never be happy with
The
it.
love of your life is getting married, and you have to be in the wedding because he's marrying your best friend.
And you have to get over it because she got over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's tough.
that is.
But she was mature about it, I thought. I think I would have done the same thing. You have to have that conversation, which she's tried to do. And then eventually I just think, I don't know, I wouldn't hold on to it.
She kind of tried to have the conversation. I think she more along went with, waiting and taking it slow because she didn't want to lose Lavon when, she knew deep down in her heart that he wasn't on the same page as she was. So I don't think she tried hard enough. I think she was just trying to convince herself that it was what it wasn't. I don't know. I just don't think Lavon... I don't even think if Lemon came back, he's ready to commit. I feel like Lavon is the most immature man on this entire show.
I think he's ready.
I don't. I feel like he's so but
what does
bouncing
he have
around.
He's just mayor if he doesn't have someone to love.
No, not that. Well, don't say that. All of you single people out there, you mean something.
No, but that's what I'm saying. For him, it's BlueBell. Like, what does he have if he's not in a relationship? He's just mayor.
Well, no, I'm not saying he shouldn't be in a relationship, but
happening.
we had him with Lemon, and he loved Lemon, and then he was with Ruby, and he wants to marry Ruby, and then he's with AB, and he wants to, be with her but not marry her. I just feel like he doesn't know.
So maybe Ruby's the love of his life.
She might be, but she's gone.
She was a rebound.
She was. But he did want to marry her. I mean, she got
Did he, though? Or was he,
he was
doing what AB was doing, proving that,
talking himself into it, okay, well, this is going to be my happiness. I'm going to make this happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we really never saw him and Lemon together.
Well, we never got,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
there's a whole storyline that hasn't been developed. If it's going to be.
Well, we've seen a couple of those flashbacks with Lemon and her mom and taking comfort in Lavon.
Right.
Mm-hmm. They have a
deep
strong,
relationship.
Deep,
yeah.
Because no one ever sees Lemon vulnerable, and he has. So it'll be interesting. But who knows? I mean, that may never happen, but...
I think if it does, it won't happen anytime soon.
Well, she's not there right now anyways,
That's
She's
true.
Skyping in. We got to get Lemon back. See what drama
then
she
what
brings.
happens.
Mm-hmm. But so we have Annabeth planning this bachelorette party because she's trying to pretend she's okay. And man, she can't get any good strippers, can she, you guys?
No.
Those were great strippers. I don't know what you mean.
Well, I mean, you had Meatball up in your face, so I don't know.
So funny. I was hazing him the whole week, just making fun of him, oh, I can't wait for our scene. And then by the time we got there, I was like, oh, I can't objectify him. I love Matt. I can't do that to him.
That is hilarious.
I felt so embarrassed that I was being so forward the rest of the earlier in the week.
Were they excited or nervous to do it? I feel like guys are woo, let's do this. Whereas a girl would probably be more oh, I don't want to strip on camera.
You'd be surprised. but to be true, they are good sports.
Yeah.
They have to be, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Was he? Were you all nervous, filming that scene? I don't know.
I mean, they were. I think at first, Matt kept calling it his topless scene.
I love it.
So
going topless today.
Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious.
So.
Well, hey, he was probably at least in better shape, BlueBell wise, than a month ago when they started their wellness journey.
He isn't as
shaping up.
I mean, I know his name's Meatball, and his character's kind of
they
sloppy
play him
jalopy,
down, yeah.
But when he took his shirt off, he didn't look that out of shape.
I know.
Meatball-ish.
I think that Meatball is cute. I've said this before. If he gets fixed up, I think he would make a nice boyfriend for someone.
Yeah, we talked about that, a makeover when he was having sex with Lemon.
Yeah.
We're oh, he'd actually be really cute.
Annabeth and Meatball, see?
Oh,
so
come
she
on.
found the love in that.
I don't know about AB going for that one.
Yeah.
Well, she's going to go for him.
Well, maybe if she's
She doesn't
drunk,
have any...
like she was at the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody was
drunk.
party.
You're throwing up.
But then she's going to be having all of Lemon's seconds. She can't do it.
Exactly.
Gotta have a new
Lemon's
character.
sleeping with everybody, so.
Yeah.
I know.
We can get some new ones, new characters up in there for that.
Yeah. I mean, we had Lynly and Ruby. They're all coming in. We can.
And they're all leaving.
Well, they're all leaving, so we can have some men come in.
That's true. Wait.
Why not?
Just you wait.
Oh, see, why not?
Yay. I hope.
Preferably more Wade Kinsella who take their shirt off all the time.
That
right?
would be happy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, Lord. That whole scene, though, it looked like fun. Bachelorette parties, you envision the strippers and the drinking, but I honestly think that would have been more fun to see people stripping and, laughing and enjoying it than, actual strippers. Because
how many takes did that take?
I feel like it only took 2 or 3.
Really?
Yeah. Because they were ready and it was.
They were probably let's nail this.
It's probably better if you just act crazy in the first couple and be done with it.
It's funny though when you rehearse the scenes because you're rehearsing the dance numbers and you're all geared up to do it, and then you do it and there's no audience except for the crew, so they're woo on the first take, and then
they're over it.
Yeah. Then it's oh, where's my applause?
Right?
Was there music while they did it?
Sorry?
Was there music playing for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I hear about how people are dancing and they don't know what song they're actually putting to it, but there was for this.
Yeah.
Because that'd be really difficult.
Yeah, how do you strip to nothing? Okay. You have a bee in your head.
Right.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, man. Well, and then we find out a bombshell drops from Crickett that she has bankrupted the Bells.
Yes. Well,
Devastating.
it is.
After you threw up on the show.
Yes, well. Yeah. Crickett is she has some ideas. She's not the smartest, but I think it was a pretty wise choice to buy designer handbags for the Bells.
Definitely.
I mean, I would vote for that person.
Me too.
I would too.
I would agree. Spa days, designer handbags. That is a leader right
For
there.
a little southern
you.
town, these women have great style and quality bags. Like Zoe was saying, oh, I don't make money. I'm like, your clothes. Look at what you're wearing.
I know.
She looks good enough.
What I thought, though? I thought, like, Crickett was getting drunk and it's going to be, like, this huge thing, like, my husband is gay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's what was going to come out.
That would have been a good one.
Is that
But
like,
why would she need money for her husband?
No, but I mean, I didn't think
No.
about the money. She didn't say why she was doing it. I guess I just went, like, something drastic is happening. And I totally went,
like her life was
the
falling
cake,
apart?
She just
So
needs to eat,
I need to make
like,
cake.
stressy, emotional eating. I don't know. But that's a change from last time you were here.
Yeah.
Because we were like, who's Crickett's husband?
yeah.
It's so funny. He's like a male version of Crickett. They're like brother and sister.
And you sing
Yeah.
show
And
tunes.
They do show
And
tunes.
We are the Fred and Ethel Mertz of this show. It's
I
so
love it.
silly.
I love how
love it.
they like wouldn't live next to you guys or can't.
Yeah. Oh my
Can't.
gosh. Wasn't that ridiculous? I love that. That was so funny and so awkward for us to like walk by and
singing.
sing a song. We were like, oh my gosh, here we go.
That's
It was
so
really
funny.
I love that.
So that'll be interesting to kind of see what happens there. Because I don't know. I mean, if you are just the beard for him, you know?
Yeah.
Is
that was
gonna
totally a
come
storyline
out?
that we created.
We created that.
We created that storyline.
No,
That we said that.
She's called the beard.
You are the beard?
Yeah, on the whole, like, my favorite Meatball speech ever when he's like, I'm Meatball, no last name required, like Jesus and Cher, or like Cher.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. I
Mess
remember
up
this
the
episode.
line. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that episode,
Yeah, and then they say that.
they say that I'm.
Who
The
says
beard.
that?
It's
though?
like Zoe and Wade, and they're like
yeah.
standing.
And then
Yeah.
I'm like, what's a beard?
Oh, I thought you were saying you
Yeah.
said you were the beard. I was like, she knows she's the beard.
No,
like,
she just-
I thought she was like down for this. She loves it.
Why did I think that like we created? Okay. Well,
Because we're so invested in Hart of Dixie.
But
you
that would
guys.
be great. I would love to see. Not that we get very political, like on the Heart of Dixie, but like having like a gay character, like have him be gay. I would like to see that.
What
Like,
would happen to Crickett?
well, Cricket could hang out with AB. They could share
It
an
could be a
apartment.
good story.
We
Yeah.
should. We should have a girls' trip to Cancun or something.
Yeah,
for,
I
like,
would love that to see how everyone like
Yeah.
Lemon and Zoe and Crickett and Anna, but like everyone.
What about when they always went to like Mobile? You know, whenever they'd want to go clubbing, they'd be like, let's go to Mobile. Like if all the girls just did that.
they go somewhere else too, don't they?
Oh, I don't know.
Another city.
New Orleans or something? I don't know.
When Zoe and George had like their first kiss,
That was
or, like,
New
their-
Orleans.
New Orleans,
New
I
Orleans.
think, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but I would just, you know, there was this part of the season where you were kind of like the mean one, you know, you were Xing them out. But it's funny because you're so quirky on the show and funny and lighthearted, but at the same time you're like snippy, like to people.
She gets snippy. It's so funny.
It's like-
some episodes she's just like really like airy and happy and like says really dumb things, and then other times she's like gets bitchy.
I wonder if it's her home life.
I mean, I think it
For
must
real,
be.
like she subconsciously knows something, or it's also like you're following the footsteps of Lemon as the leader of the Bells. You know, you have to kind of like own your.
Well, part
your
of it is
spot.
she's trying to be someone she's not.
Yeah.
And she's living in a marriage where, you know, it might not be.
Right. And this episode, you said something like, when the world changes and you're in charge of this. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, like she's acting like Lemon. I was very impressed. But I want to know, like, is that fun to play kind of the bitchy character sometimes just to like snap at people?
Oh, it's so great. Because, I mean, I'm kind of nice in person. I'm like nice.
Yes, you
and
are.
That's boring. And I hate having to be nice. I mean, people that know me know that I'm not really that nice. But I don't get to do that in front of people. So it's
Right.
really fun when you get to do it in
Unbiased,
front of
right? You
people.
can say whatever you want.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true. Just bottle it all up, and then here comes mean Cricket. Mm-hmm. I like it. Good stuff. Okay, so what else are we missing from this one? Well, Tom and-
George.
yeah, George. Let's talk
George.
about George.
I still don't get why Lavon's mad at him.
Because Lynly, he made Lynly go away.
It's
Broke her
she's
heart.
an adult. I just think like when you're adults and you decide to get into a relationship, it's nobody else's business what you're doing. and how it ended.
Still
Or
like a child, though.
She's 25. Do you think we're
like
children?
a child? She acts like a child, though.
She does, but
And he warned him. He told him, like, don't mess with my cousin's heart. I think it's more so the fact that George got into this relationship with her, and he knew that he still had feelings for Tansy.
Yeah, but here's Lavon in a relationship with AB, and he doesn't have true intentions with her either. So it's like,
I think he had true intentions.
But knowing what
he just had truer intentions with Lemon.
I just mean, like, he knows that she wants marriage, and I think he knew the whole time he didn't want that with her.
But a lot of people ignore that, I think, in a relationship.
And maybe it would change.
Yeah, you can hope.
Yeah.
But I think that's what George was doing with Lynly, because at that point, him and Tansy really weren't communicating. She was dating Scooter, and he had his own stuff going on. And it wasn't until Lynly kind of sparked the flame and brought her over the house and all of that it really,
No, he was honest with her. He was like, George was honest with her, but I think it's more of just like Lavon's her cousin, right? Or uncle?
Yes, cousin.
Well, he's her protector.
Or uncle.
He protects her. I think it's that.
Yeah.
He'll get over it. Him and George are going to be fine.
Well, he does get over it.
They dealt with quite a few little hiccups in their
he was sleeping with George's fiance.
So, they've been through it.
Yeah.
So,
so how could he even be mad, right?
Yeah.
We'll call it square.
That's true.
Right?
We're good. George and Lavon.
That may have been 2 seasons ago, but we remember.
Yeah. But, so George, he kind of lays it all on the line at the end of this episode, right?
I love that. Don't you want that to happen to you? Like, your guy just walk in and kiss you, and then, like,
he just
fabulous.
Exactly.
And he's like, let me take you out.
I didn't like that line.
I did. I was like,
we should go out sometime.
Well, I liked that George, though, because I think we're so used to seeing George.
Sweet guy George.
He's just like, don't want to step on anyone's toes, and it's like, be a man. And he
I
was a man at the end.
I liked the kiss. I just didn't like that line after it. I thought something else more.
I still don't see them together, if I'm honest. But,
really?
Mm-mm.
Well, I do.
It's so different. I don't know. George's parents wouldn't approve of this one either, I don't think.
They already don't approve of her, I thought.
Did that happen? I thought it
was just like a thing.
They like Zoe.
Yeah, because
she's
it makes sense.
Cosmopolitan.
Yeah.
We should put George and Lemon back together and Wade and Zoe back together and put a little bow around that.
Yeah, it's
Lavon
true.
and who, though?
Lavon and Annabeth. He should come around and figure it out.
It's true.
I would like that.
All of those.
What about George and Annabeth? No, too much.
No.
That's interesting.
I never thought of that, but
no, that won't happen.
I would love to see
They
Lavon
should go
fight.
on dates, though.
Yeah, they should go on. George has already dated every
Let's
woman in this
just pick
town.
who should be with whom, and then that's what the writers do, and we're like, yay!
I know. Put together a little chart with arrows.
Oh man.
No,
but I don't know.
See.
but yeah. So we had the whole Wanda and Tom thing with George and
The alpacas.
the alpacas.
They just have some of the craziest storylines. Tom and Wanda, they are like a pair. They are a perfect pair because they're both very odd.
Yeah.
But it works.
It was cute. For some reason, this is the first time watching it. Like, I know they're married, but I was noticing that Tom was wearing, like, a wedding ring, and I was like, oh, like, they're actually, like, married on this show, and they just seem so young.
Right.
But they're the only two who know what they're doing. Not know what they're doing, but who seem to be in a healthy, loving relationship with one another. That's going in the right direction.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, it is. And they seem like the young ones.
Yeah, because I'm picturing them, like, early 20s, right?
I would think.
Yeah.
And I didn't know AB was 31.
Right, that was a surprise. Which makes sense. She wants to get married. It's time for babies.
Babies.
It's the South, especially.
And none of you are having babies.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
true.
surprised
Yeah.
They're not having a baby.
That could be something.
Well, we know why
Just
Crickett's
Shelby.
not having a baby.
Yeah, Shelby's having her baby.
Shelby's having a baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With the governor. She has moved out of BlueBell.
Yeah.
Be with that.
Like I was saying, people come and go. We could definitely get new characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else happened? Anything else we had to talk about?
The cake. Well, we kind of talked about that, but the wellness, Brooke and Zoe. I feel like Brooke is mean. Like, give her some more. Don't be so harsh.
Interesting. I mean, do you think she'll become partner again?
Yeah.
Yes.
But, like, why not yet?
I think she'll become partner when Joel goes back to New York and she needs money to keep up that house.
And she needs something to focus
Paige
on.
has the whole show, like, wrapped up.
That's
right
what's
here.
happening.
It was weird because at the beginning of the show, I know this is kind of off topic, but Annabeth and Lavon, you could just tell when she found out about that wedding. I was like, they're going to break up. But I didn't expect it to happen this episode.
Yeah, you said that and you were like, wow, it happened already. Like,
Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah, and last episode,
I don't know.
3 couples broke up, or 2, or
George and Lynly.
George and Lynly.
Tansy and Scooter.
And Brick and Shelby.
Brick and Shelby.
All last episode, and then this episode.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So
like,
can we get a break?
We're waiting on 2 more of them.
Well, they're all breaking up. Everybody's breaking up. So by the end of this season, they're all going to be with different people.
Hopefully
So
the
I'm
ones
assuming
they're meant to be with.
There's no Valentine's episode this season, then, I'm assuming. Because
Actually,
no couples are...
Is
there? I don't
Is
know.
there? Did y'all shoot a
No,
Valentine's
because next week
It's
is
Valentine's.
Zoe's
the birthday, and then Valentine's Day will have passed.
I feel like our Valentine's episode happened around Halloween or something.
That's a long
It was weird because it wasn't like really Halloween-y. I don't know. I couldn't figure out what time of year we were in.
Sometimes we do, like, we try and figure out the timeline. We're like,
We're like, it's had to have been 6 months, right?
right? Like, how long has it
Never
been?
know.
Yeah.
Oh, so interesting stuff coming about for sure. What do you think for Crickett's character? Do you see anything? Like, what would you want?
Yeah,
what
what
would
do
be
you
a
want?
fun Cricket to play?
I think it would be fun to play Cricket pregnant or to find out that her husband is gay.
Yeah, that would be intense.
I secretly don't think he is,
Really?
though.
He's just very flamboyant.
Yeah.
Metro.
They're just kind of a pair of, like, you know, those people you don't really want to be friends with.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not really that cool, you know. But it's good that they're there because, I mean, they're kind of, like, really wholesome and lovely and, like, you're like, do people really do that?
Yeah.
I bet they do.
And she read that whole book, right?
think
Like,
people-
what was that book that you read about the woman and how to be the best wife you could
Jeremiah
be?
Jones.
Jeremiah
Right.
Jones. So if she's doing that, she's
Wow,
obviously
that was
putting,
last season.
but she's obviously putting effort into their relationship and trying to prove herself as a wife. And I think if she didn't feel like she was getting it back,
But that's what I almost think. It's like she's overcompensating. But I don't know.
I think it would be too much to have your couple break up.
Yeah, it
because
would
we
be
have
like
everybody else.
That's true. We can't have that
It's
right
like
now.
Heartbreak Town.
Yeah. I'd kind of like to see Annabeth's first husband come back into town. We've never met him.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Like rekindle the
see that.
love.
I don't know. She's met the love of her life. Would that, like, light a fire under Lavon's butt?
Maybe.
No.
You don't think so?
I think it's done. I think it's going to take some time. Maybe Lemon comes back to console her best friend.
Did you guys like them together?
A.B. and Lavon?
Yeah.
I did.
I didn't mind
didn't.
them. I don't know. I still
didn't
think
like it.
I've always wanted to see Lavon and Lemon though.
Like actually in a
I
relationship.
want to see them. Yeah.
I liked Ruby and Lavon. I know I'm the only person, but
Well, you guys
thought
tell
they made
us.
a better couple
They need to
than-
tell us who they want Lavon to be with. So go to iTunes, rate, comment, tell us what you think about Lavon and who he should be dating, who should break up, that kind of stuff. We love to hear from you. Always good stuff. That'll be good to hear.
I know
Gotta
somebody
get
was
all the different
somebody
comments.
was saying that we're all Wade and Zoe fans and none of us are George Tucker and Zoe fans. But I feel like that was so long ago. And I don't know.
was.
And working on the show, do you have like a couple that you're rooting for? Is it Wade and Zoe?
I mean, I think so, because we got to see a lot of that. We got to see that dynamic happen. A lot of the George and Zoe stuff was always stopped before it really got to take off a little more. So I feel like we should see that happen before we choose.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's
And
true.
I still think it's just about the chemistry that you see between them, though, because, like, again, George and Zoe, I feel like they're just, like, they're perfect on paper, but then you don't see the, like, sizzle.
yeah.
You know? Like, Wade and Zoe have that. And, you know, she's taught him a lot about himself, and he's kind of, like, made her more laid back. I don't know. They balance each other well. So I don't know if that'll happen this season, but, because Vivian, she's here, you know? They're
Yeah.
cousins. That's just a whole nother drama.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like they just
Ugh.
bounce and bounce. Like,
Well, that's what I was
doesn't
gonna
matter
ask.
who you are.
Well, so many different characters. Like, how has it changed on set in a year? You know, since you were last here, like, there's so many new people. Like, what's the dynamic now?
It definitely changes. I mean, we could definitely feel the shift between when Zoe and Wade broke up. And then having Joel in the mix, Josh is such a pleasure to have around. He's incredibly funny and smart and witty. Everybody loves him. So we love to play with him. We're
Right.
glad he's there. So we're hoping people will like that. Yeah, I know. It's hard to compete with Wade, especially without a shirt on.
But he's growing on us.
He's
Joel.
growing as a character, but not as Zoe's boyfriend.
And he's so lovable.
Yeah.
He's like really sweet.
That's what everyone says. That's
And
coming
he-
here. They like love him.
And sometimes, like, you know, that's the kind of relationship that people should be in, right?
The one
Maybe
that's good
not
for
the
them.
one that sizzles.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a little like, ow, I touched the flame kind of
Right.
thing.
And then I got cheated on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting. I don't know.
I don't know.
I know you're never gonna give into it, are you?
No, because I like get something in my head though. Like, I mean, this goes back to any show that I watch. You know, like, I mean, I could tell you One Tree Hill, Friday Night Lights, who I want to be together, and then
Friday Night
never
Lights.
really end up being together. It's
Well, then the show's over
disappointing.
when that happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I don't know. Well, what else is going on with you?
With me.
Yeah. Do you have any upcoming projects?
I just filmed a movie with Salma Hayek.
Oh,
She
awesome.
throws a cell phone at my head. She has a really good arm, so if she ever is around you, throwing something, be
Watch
careful.
out.
Yes. That's
Awesome.
called How to Make Love Like an Englishman. Yeah.
When
And
does that
then-
come out?
I have no idea. I think
Really?
they're still filming.
Yeah.
And I just finished a new musical about Walt Disney and his wife, and I played Lily and Disney.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So
that
you
was
do
really fun.
sing in real life.
I
We
do
know
sing
this.
in real life.
So those
yes.
show tunes for Cricket,
Yes.
that's not too far-fetched.
Yes, we love doing the show tunes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
you'll
lots of
probably
good
see a
stuff.
little more singing on the show.
That's exciting.
Yeah, Stanley and Cricket, they've, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. You'll
That's
see a
something.
little more.
But
We
that's
haven't
nice.
actually seen people singing in a while because we know George can, I mean, a lot of people, we've talked about this, like how
Right.
many people can sing on the show. So that'll be kind of a different
Well, we got to
twist.
see it with the cabaret, but other than that, there used to be
Yeah.
like town concerts where like George would
Yes.
just hop up on stage and start serenading, and
That'll be fun.
Our casting director is a big musical theater fan, so you'll find a lot of your favorite musical theater actors on our show.
yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's something to look forward to. I like that. Get a little.
Yeah, I think the fans really like when they do the singing and dancing.
Yeah.
And make it like a musical.
Well, because people have become like infatuated with shows like Glee that, you know, mix the two things
Nashville.
together. Yeah, Nashville. So the fact that you guys can deliver that, I think is nice for fans.
Yeah, and it's not awkward. You know, it's not like forced.
Yeah, it's not like
Yeah.
somebody who can't sing is singing. You're like, stop.
Yeah.
I
We
like
don't
it.
need that. We don't need that.
No, not at all.
Any other things to talk about? Okay, let's get into news and gossip then.
All right.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Well, speaking of musical theater, Laura Bell Bundy did an interview with SheKnows.com, and in it she talks a little bit about her singing career. She has a new song out called Kentucky Dirty. I was going to say Kentucky Derby. Okay, no. Kentucky Dirty. And Perez Hilton apparently called her the Britney Spears of country music. So country music fans, look out for that. There's a video that goes along with the song as well. And she said, as far as her pregnancy goes with Shelby, that she actually was getting motherly instincts and like rubbing the fake tummy. And so she
Wow.
really, yeah.
Did you see her doing that on set?
And she did do that. Yeah.
That's
And
kinda
it's funny when you see like a woman with a pregnant belly, you automatically go up and want to touch it.
Yeah.
And it's like weird
Fake.
because that's
fake.
not
There's no
real.
real.
Yeah, it's fake.
Oh, weird.
So that's all the news and gossip I have.
Awesome. Okay, predictions. Got some good ones, I hope.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Who wants to start?
I mean, I've already said mine basically. I think that, you know, Joel and Zoe coming up are going to hit like a rough patch where she gets like cold feet about moving in with him, and that will kind of be the start of maybe the breakup. Or even if it's just kind of like a bump in the road, so we can see they're not, this whole season they've just been very steady. And I feel like for, you know, the main character to not have any issues in her relationship or, you know, any bumps or anything, it leads me to believe it's coming. And I think when that comes, we'll see a lot of changes in the town, who people are dating, what's going on. I also think Wade and Vivian aren't going to last that long because of Hartley and the fact that she has so many responsibilities and he still kind of lives not a bachelor lifestyle, but like he said today, I don't pick the right socks and stuff. And it's like, well, she's teaching grade school and raising her son and kind of has her stuff together.
I agree that Zoe and Joel are going to have some issues, but I think that at that same time, that Wade and Vivian are going to, I wouldn't say get engaged, but I feel like
get serious.
Yeah, I think get serious.
Ooh.
Because they never have their timing between Wade and Zoe's never right. So I would say
Zoe's going to have to be the one that's like, let me tell you
single.
what my heart feels, like he did. He kind of laid it on the line for her at the end of the last season.
But how do you do that with a cousin who's like
that's
in
the
love
problem.
with him?
Ooh, that is some tough stuff. I think, I've already said it, Lemon and Lavon, something's going to happen. That'll just be huge drama if it does. But it may not be this season. Maybe like towards the end.
Yeah.
Especially if we might get some new guys in town. That could be fun.
You can definitely count on some new guys.
Okay.
We need some new guys. Come on.
I know.
For real. Are any of our predictions on point? Do you know? I mean, of course you know.
I do know. Yeah, you touch on quite a few things.
Okay, that could potentially happen. So we have to stay tuned.
You do.
Well, obviously.
Well, yeah. We'll be here every week.
We will be here, guys.
Perfect. Okay, thanks, y'all, for joining us. I'm Whitney Lane. You can find me on Twitter at Whitney Lane Fern and Instagram at Whitney Lane.
I am Michelle Renee, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Michelle Renee TV.
You can find me at Paige Sull on Twitter and Instagram.
And you can find me at Brandi Burkhardt on Twitter and Instagram.
Thanks for joining us, Brandi. So fun. Okay, you guys, we'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.